Hi guys, good morning. So I am currently outside of our local hospital because I need to get some ultrasounds done and some imaging work. I will explain more in depth because I have to go start walking because I don't know where the office is located, but I wanted to do a quick check-in so that you guys kind of knew what is going on.
No
problem.
You know where it's located from here?
I don't.
You're gonna go towards Subway, make a right.
Oh no, that person freaking slammed the door on their charger. Okay guys, we are all done with the ultrasound. It was a little confusing to get there. I feel like the hospital is always confusing to navigate. And the last time I was here was when I gave birth to Jude, so it's crazy. It's been almost a year. So right now what we're gonna do is we're gonna wait for the radiologist to take a look at my ultrasound, and then they are going to contact my doctor, and then my doctor is going to contact me. But yeah. Buenas noches amigos, gracias por tomar el tiempo en esta linda noche para ver uno de mis videos. Ojalá y les guste y quieran ver más de mi contenido. Mi nombre es Natalie y gracias por tomar el tiempo para visitar mi canal. Hello everybody, I practiced that like 10 times, but welcome back to my channel. If you're new here, my name is Natalie. I would really appreciate if you took the time to like, comment, share, subscribe. All of those things really make an impact on my channel. But let's get started because I already filmed this. I filmed this yesterday. I took about an hour and a half to film, and then I panicked today overthinking everything, and I deleted all of the footage that I had filmed prior to this. So yeah, so I think that it's no surprise to anybody here, unless you're new, that I can talk for hours. The main idea behind this video is to share where I'm at with my health and wellness journey and what my intentions are for the following months, what my intentions are every day to make sure that I'm showing up for myself in a way that's going to allow me to create the healthiest version of myself. I started this video with you guys going with me to my ultrasound appointment. I don't know if you read my chart and my health issues at the moment, but they include asthma, they include pre-diabetes, and they also include abdominal pain. So we're going to be talking about that first, and then we're also going to talk about my mental health because to me they're both equally important. So I started my channel in 2016, and if you try to watch those videos you're not going to be able to because I privated them. But if there's one constant theme since 2016 on my channel, it's my journey with health and wellness. Obviously that has evolved. One, because there's new scientific evidence, and two, because I developed some eating disorders. And there's videos on that if you want to go and check it out and see what that transition was like for me. But now I am about to be 28 this year. I am a first-time mom and I'm in recovery, and I'm trying to honor my eating disorder recovery because I want to make sure that whatever I choose to do with my relationship with food and with body, my daughter can mirror, even if she chooses not to. I just want her to have a good foundation when it comes to her own relationship with food and body. I wish that I could say that my goals are very clear right now, and I am saying goals because I have come to the conclusion, even from the last video that I did, which was like 2 weeks ago, that in order for me to build a habit, to build a strategy, I do have to have a goal to work towards. So they work hand in hand. So I will be using the word goals in this video. There's been lots of things that have happened that I haven't shared on YouTube with my eating disorder recovery since having Jude. I did end up kind of swinging one way to the extreme again, where I was counting macros, weighing myself all the time, and just being very restrictive. And that happened because I think I tried to approach the same problem the same way that I had in the past, instead of thinking the goal might be the same, but I need to approach this differently because I'm a different person. And I will say this until I am blue in the face, but I am not willing to give up the balance that I have found in my life to be in a smaller body. It's just not for me anymore. Now, that doesn't mean that I don't want to be in a smaller body, because just like a lot of you who are watching this video, I am susceptible to what the media puts out, what society has set as our beauty standards. I go back and forth with this a lot. I think Ricardo sees this a lot in me, but I constantly ask myself, do I really want this, or am I being influenced to want this? Something that plays a huge role in this is how much content I consume in a day, because my job allows me to consume content all day. So I've really had to kind of step away from the content that I've been consuming to remember what goals and habits align with my own values, and not just because it's something that's trending and not something that's being fed to me. And really what I've come to find is that you're never going to be right in everybody's eyes. You're never going to be skinny enough, you're never going to be curvy enough. But that was my problem. My problem was trying to find external validation. And I can go so deep into this because I think when I started my weight loss journey, that's what I was doing it for. I think that I was allowing myself to be sexualized and get this like male attention because it felt nice to be seen, because I felt like that's what I wanted for so long. Okay guys, so I'm coming to you from the editing world because watching this video back made me cringe a little bit, just because I don't want what I'm saying to be taken out of context or to rub anybody the wrong way, because that's never my intention. But this was solely my experience. Looking back now, I continued to post what I was posting, and I continue to put myself in this fitness box because that's what brought the most attention to me. And unfortunately, a lot of that attention was male attention, and because it was still contributing to my likes at the time and most of my following was male dominant, I continued to post things that could easily be sexualized. But that doesn't mean that everybody who posts similar things to what I post is looking for that validation, you know? So I hope that that makes more sense and that you guys kind of get where I'm coming from. But yeah, bye. And obviously that comes from a childhood wound, but that's not what I want anymore. Really, guys, I'm at the point right now where all I want is to be able to have a functioning body, to feel good in what I'm wearing because I like it, just to be able to be in a functioning body that allows me to enjoy my life, whatever that might look like, whether that means deadlifting 200 pounds or if that means just playing with my daughter, or I don't know, just like play fighting with my husband, you know? Those things are really important to me, and that's why right now I am choosing the goals and habits that I have set for myself. Now, I wanted to elaborate a little bit on the health issues that I shared. So even right now, I'm currently struggling with my asthma. Before I started filming this, I had to take 2 puffs of this. And And then the abdominal pain is what I went to get my ultrasound for, which I haven't heard back, so I don't even know what's going on with that yet. But just to give a brief description of what I've been feeling, it's basically a pain right in between my boobs, but like it's like underneath the breastbone, and I feel the pain radiating towards my back, and it hurts so much that I can feel it in my teeth. It would range from like 5 minutes to like an hour. Nothing helped. No gas X, no Tums, Bicot, none of that helped. Water wouldn't help. So I don't know what it is, but that's what the abdominal pain is about. The pre-diabetes. Initially, when I started to work with my physician to try to find out what is going on with my abdominal pain, I had to get some blood work done, and my numbers for my blood work were pretty close to being in the pre-diabetic level. During one of my appointments, I still wasn't seeing the scale. I would turn around every time they would weigh me, but one day they gave me my follow-up paperwork at the end of my appointment, and I had forgotten that all of like your stats show up on the side, and it showed me my weight. And this was after I had talked to my doctor about or she had talked to me about my results for my blood work. And so obviously it hit me really hard because I was already feeling like my body was failing me. I felt defeated. I remember coming home and just crying to Ricardo because I told him, like, I don't want to feel like this anymore. And at that moment, after having that discussion with my doctor, I think it really flipped a switch in my mind as to this time, if I'm going to focus on weight loss, it's going to be because of my health, not for aesthetic purposes. I honestly feel like all of the work that I've been doing has led me to this moment. And this doesn't mean that I don't care about what I look like, because I do. I mean, the whole reason why I feel like this even started again was because I was insecure about how I looked and my weight and all of that stuff. I don't even know how to explain it, but just a transition in my thought process when it comes to taking care of myself physically. And I think a lot of that has to do with setting the intention to build on habits and not just focus on the desired outcome. I say that I'm on a weight loss journey. I'm really trying hard not to be fixated on the number on the scale. And I know what I need to do to lose weight. So I basically have been working hard at just building the habits that would lead to weight loss. But I'm not weighing myself every day like I used to. I only weigh myself when I want to. And a lot of the times in the past, I would even use the scale as a way to punish myself. For example, if I had a very carb-filled day, the next day I would make sure I didn't miss my weigh-in so that I can see that number and so that I could say,
damn, Natalie, you really need to get 2 cardio sessions in today to make sure you burn all of this off.
That's just not the thought process that I have anymore. It's just, hey, you know what? I feel good. I feel like I can mentally handle seeing that number on the scale. Let's see where I'm at. And I'm really trying to get it into my head that it's just a data point, and it doesn't mean that I'm any more of a person or any less of a person, regardless of what that number is. So even if it's lower, which, to be honest, the last weigh-in that I had is the lowest that I've seen in a long time. But even then, Ricardo and I try not to make it a big deal. And he even tells me now, he's like,
I don't really know what to tell you when you tell me about your weigh-ins, because I don't want to reinforce the negative behavior or trigger something in you.
And I told him I don't know how to approach it either, but I think it's okay. I think it's just like another topic of conversation, and it's not the main theme of our lives, you know, because that's what it was for the longest time. So what I'm doing for my weight loss goal is basically I am making sure that I get my reps in at the gym. I am trying to make sure that I at least hit 7,500 steps a day. I am building my meals around my protein intake. I do know what my macros are for weight loss, but I really am just focusing on hitting more protein because I think right now where I'm at mentally, I don't know if I'm ready to be as detailed as I used to be, and I honestly don't even know if being that aggressive with tracking macros aligns with my lifestyle anymore, because it does take a lot of my mental capacity, and I need mental capacity for a lot of other mom stuff. Really, that's all that has changed. One of the big things though that I will say that I'm trying to continue to work on this year, and I wouldn't even really align it with weight loss, but I'm really trying to build my core strength back up, because the first time that I laid down on a flat bench to do dumbbell press, I couldn't get up because I had no core strength to do so. I'm really trying to, every time I go work out, which right now I'm working out 4 times a week, and it's been about 3 months, we're about to hit 4 months that I've been going to the gym 4 times a week, but every time I work out, I try to do some ab workouts. As far as mental health goes, if you follow me on Instagram, you might have read what's been going on lately. I don't want to speak on it too much because I could be overreacting, I could be overanalyzing the way that I've been feeling, but there's something going on mentally that I feel like needs to be addressed with my therapist. It could be my birth control, which that's a big thing that I wanted to talk to you guys about, because of the way that I've been feeling mentally and just really feeling like not myself. I decided to stop taking birth control. No more birth control. I was on the pill, but as of a few days ago, I am off the pill, and I'm going to continue to try to avoid pregnancy with the natural cycles method, which is taking my temperature every day. There's been lots of things that I feel like could be playing a role into my mental health, but I've had one too many breakdowns, it feels like. I've had too many instances where I'm on the verge of panic attacks. I think that that calls for some more serious addressing, I guess. And I have therapy in a few days, so I'll be able to talk to her about that. And maybe, honestly guys, I've been feeling so much better these last few days, and so that kind of makes me think that it could have even been every time that my period was coming around that I'd get these like really intense lows. But because I didn't experience that prior to getting pregnant, I wasn't sure, because it feels very comparable to how I would feel when I was depressed. It could just be a depressive episode. I don't know, there's just so many things, so many variables, and so I'm trying to nitpick all of them. You know, I am working out, I am trying to eat better and drink more water and get enough sleep, and now I'm getting off the birth control, and I'm gonna go to therapy, and I'm trying to check off all these boxes, but nothing seems to make it better. But we will see what my therapist says and how we continue to work through it. But I think that's everything that I wanted to include in this video. I said I was going to do weekly uploads, but then Jude's first birthday got here and we got really busy, and that really took a lot of our time. If you got to the end of this video, I really appreciate you as always. Please take the time to like the video, to comment and interact with my channel, because it really does help. And of course, if you feel like we don't align, you can always take your subscription back. But anyway, I will see you guys next week, hopefully. I love you guys so much, and I hope you guys are staying fearless. Bye! Should I say that in Spanish? Let me practice. Entiendo que este video la mayoría estaba en inglés, pero gracias de todos modos por tomar el tiempo para mirar mi contenido y para tomarse el tiempo nomás para conocerme. Ojalá y les gustó lo que pudieron entender, y ojalá regresen otra vez para otro de mis videos. Ok, bye.